मैं मर जाऊं, मेरे को फीलिंग नहीं है, तुम्हारी फीलिंग तुम्हारी, मेरे को फीलिंग नहीं है।
So hello friends, let's discuss the next essay topic which UPSC had asked on 7th January 2022 for UPSC 2021 mains. In the essay paper, topic number 3. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian while materialism is a chimera. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian while materialism is chimera. When I heard this topic, when I read this topic, I thought of Shehnaz Gill came in my mind, a very popular actress whose one clip had gone viral last year, in which she said, it was a very popular clip. I may not be able to reproduce that, but she said very popularly, "Kya karu? Mat jaun?" Which translates into, "What should I do? Should I die?" In a very frustrated tone, she said that, though in a different context. But why I remember that, I will come to that in a while. Before that, let's discuss this as a topic. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, while materialism is a chimera. And let me share the screen with you all. Here it is. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, while materialism is a chimera. Let's focus on this topic. The topic consists of two parts. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, while materialism is a chimera. Leave this word philosophy off. It doesn't make any big significance. Even if the topic was wantlessness is utopian while materialism is a chimera, we would have still done it the same way. Now, wantlessness is utopian while materialism is a chimera. Obviously, we are going to have a philosophical discussion on that. Wantlessness is utopian while materialism is a chimera. Let's get into these keywords. Wantlessness means absence of any desires. When you stop having any desires, we'll come to that again in a while. Utopian means something which is perfect, ideal, great, excellent. You should have it, but conditions apply. You can't have that in real life. It is not achievable. Something which is great, excellent idea, but it is not achievable. Materialism, it means love for material goods, worldly desires. For example, I believe that whatever these material goods are, this pen, this pen, this paper, this laptop, this camera, this mobile, everything, your house, property, cars, vehicles, everything, all these things are worthwhile. And materialism means being more focused on these things, having a belief that pursuit of these things which are around you will give you desires, a lasting. These will give you a happiness, will give you a lasting happiness. So these things should be the goal of our life. Materialism means this, an intense desire for these things. Chimera was a mythical legend. It's a character, it's a mythical character in Greek mythology, which refers to an animal or whatever we may call it, who had a head of a woman and or head of a human being and body of an animal. Whatever exactly, you don't need to know that. It basically denotes a concept that something which you can't achieve in real life, something which does not exist in real life. It's a myth. This is similar to the concept in Indian philosophy of that Mrig Trishna, or the golden deer that happened in Ramayana. If you run towards it, it will run further from you, and it does not exist in real. It does not exist in real. So that chase will never end, because the more you move towards it, the further it will get away from you. So what this essay topic says is, let's come back to that absence of any desires. This essay topic says, absence of any desires is perfect, but it is not achievable. So absence of any desires is not achievable. Okay. And next, if we take up, it says that pursuit of desires, in a sense, materialism, which I am taking a broader meaning of that, pursuit of desires, that is also not going to take you anywhere. That is also useless and futile. So if absence of desires is a futile concept, pursuit of desires is a concept, then what to do? Kya kare fir? मर जाऊं, because desires is also bad and absence of desires is also bad. This is what the essay topic is hinting. It's not exactly saying that absence of desires is a bad thing, but what it is saying is that absence of desires is not possible. There's no point trying to do it to achieve absence of desires possibly, because it's a utopian thing. You won't be able to get it. And then it says pursuit of material goods. You will never be able to get them. That's like a mythical animal. You won't be able to achieve it. So if you can't have this, you can't have that. And if these two are the only options, then what to do? It's like a situation in exams when you have an MCQ, when you're thinking of option A or option B, and the answer is none of these. So what this essay topic says is wantlessness and materialism. Both of these two things, wantlessness and materialism, both of these two things are not worthwhile, or in a sense they cannot be achieved. If they cannot be achieved, why would we try them, right? So these two things can't be achieved. So in this essay, you basically have to make a discussion in the context of this thing, absence of desires versus pursuit of desires, and how both of these two things are not achievable. Absence of worldly desires and pursuit of worldly desires is not possible. So what to do? We'll come to that. Now, before we move further, we can discuss. We can start. I will provide you some hints here so that you can take clues from them and practice on your own. We can discuss here how the two statements hold true. First, we can do that. So what are the two statements? What is the inference which we have created here? That first, absence of worldly desires or absence of desires, it can't be achieved. You can prove this. And the second, you can prove that materialism is an endless chase, or pursuit of desires is an endless chase. So absence of desires as well as pursuit of desires, they both are an endless chase. They both can't be achieved. Now, this first part, I think absence of desires can't be achieved. How we can do that? You can. This portion is relatively easier to do. I want to move forward quicker, but okay. So I will give you limited examples of these, and then move forward. Absence of desires can't be achieved. You can say that desires are ingrained in our body and mind by nature and God. They are a part and parcel of our existence. The desire for food, that is something which is born out of hunger, or desire for house, something born out of need for security, or desires to have offspring, sexual desires. These things are hard-grained or hardwired into our genetics. So this is not possible. Absence of desires. Everyone cannot go into renunciation. And the second part is materialism is an endless chase. This I have often explained you. I think abhi tak you might have got bored also. Again, okay, I've explained this so many times. Materialism is an endless chase. It's not possible. It's not going to take you anywhere. I think even the previous essay, I explained it, something related to that. For example, let's take Apple laptops or Apple iPad, Apple products. They are so costly. You even somehow, suppose you spend 1 lakh rupees in buying those products this year, within a few months, the next version would come. The company would release with the fanfare. The company would release the next product, in front of which the existing product would start looking obsolete. This happens with all the companies today these days. So the more you buy, the more you will feel the need to buy, and this chase will never end. The chase of desires will never be complete. इंसान की ख्वाहिशों की कोई इंतहा नहीं. 2 गज जमीन भी चाहिए 2 गज कफन के बाद. So Cafe Azmi, a poet, wrote these 2 lines, which basically means that the desires of a human being, they are endless. They know no foundation. And even after his death, after getting a coffin box, he also desires for land for his grave. So in a way, poet is metaphorically saying here that these desires are so intense and they follow you not only throughout your life, but even after your death. Even in your grave, you want to ask for more and more. So next we will move from here, we can discuss here. We will now add some extra dimensions here in this essay. And what we can add here is that both these two parts which we discussed, that is absence of worldly desires and the worldly desires themselves, both, as I said, are unachievable and not possible. So we can say that how these, in this part we will say how they are not desirable. The topic, what exactly it was saying, that they are not achievable, that they are not feasible. One it was calling is they were not achievable. We will say it may be even a bad idea to consider that. This is, we're going a little extra here. It is a bad idea to leave aside all desires. This reflects the first part of the topic. And then it is a bad idea to pursue desires. This reflects to the second part. Now, why it is a bad idea to pursue desires? This is again, I think, relatively easy to discuss. You can find the examples, write it down. Like if you have too much greed for money, you might get into some corruption. These Harshit Mehta scam and all those things. And as we said, these will never end, and you will always feel deprived. You will never find satisfaction in your life. So it's a bad idea to pursue desires. You can add the content on those part. I will come to here to this point. It is a bad idea to leave aside all desires. It's a bad idea to leave aside all desires. Why? Because someone need to stay in this world. Now, how do you leave all desires? Actually, you leave all desires when you start thinking about, as I said initially, about God, about renunciation, becoming a sadhu sannyasi, becoming a celibate, or just thinking about the other world, not focusing on what is actually taking place in this world. You know, in every family, in every society, in every place, not everyone can be a philosopher. In a family especially, not every person can be a philosopher. You know why? Because there is always a need of a person who can bring them back in the real world, who can talk about things which are important for the real world. For example, here I'm giving you lessons about philosophy and all. You may love them. I may love philosophy. You may like philosophy, but somebody needs to be here around me to remind me of worldly things like आलू प्याज धनिया. Somebody needs to be there who can say to me कि आलू प्याज धनिया की भी बात करो, इन्हें भी लेकर आओ मार्केट से अभी, आज सैटरडे, आज संडे, आज this is there you will get, this is there you will get. Because existence is not possible without these material needs. And same thing goes with the universities level, at the social level, at the national level also. If everybody becomes a sadhu and goes into renunciation, who will earn the resources? Who will take our GDP forward? When we are cursing materialism, and enough, I have cursed materialism in my essays also. I'm very fond of cursing materialism. But no doubt how much we may be cursing these materialism and those people who are running after money. But if they are not running after money, then who would be creating GDP in our country? Who would be creating GDP? If GDP falls down, then where would we get the funds to spend on these philanthropic activity? So in every society, in every family, in every nation, in every group, there needs to be some people who are materialists. Otherwise, those who are philosophers, they won't be able to survive. A bag of potato has greater weight than the books of philosophy in the shelf. Because when you are hungry, you can neither study philosophy nor you can teach philosophy. I may be saying that this chase of materialism is a never-ending pursuit. Okay, it is true. You buy 10 lakh rupees car, your neighbor will buy 20 lakh rupees car. And then Louis Vuitton, there is a company, luxury brand company, it came up with a bicycle which is 20 lakh rupees in price. Then Rolls Royce, 5 crore, 10 crores. How much would you spend? This would never end. But how much, no matter how much we may curse this materialism in our human society, but still we need matter at the end of the day. We need someone to fulfill our material needs. In Delhi summers, in the summers of Delhi, when Lou is there, or in North India, how difficult it is to walk on the roads. You need a vehicle at that point of time. At that point of time, we need metros so that people can travel in that. If governments becomes philosophical and starts thinking only about ashrams or those who have taken renunciation, then who will build these metros? Who will till the land in agriculture, and who will cultivate rice for us? So love for matter is also important. How would you motivate the farmers that go and work in the field, because what you're dealing with is very vital for us? The matter in your hand, the potatoes, the rice in your hand is very vital for our existence. How would you motivate a construction worker that the bricks which you are putting up there on the walls they are very vital for human existence? Rabindranath Tagore, in his poem in his collection of poem Gitanjali, he says there, I discussed with you a poem of Gitanjali, one of the poems in Gitanjali in my YouTube videos. In a different poem of the same collection, he says that God is not there closed in temples, behind the doors of the temples, but rather God is standing there. It is his words. God is standing there with the farmer who is tilling the land. God stands with the tiller who tills the land. God stands with the worker who is crushing the stones on the road. And dress of God is not very beautiful, but rather dress of God is dusted. It is in sweat, because God lies there in hard work, and God lies with those who are actually dealing with that matter. That is the interpretation we can take, and we can relate it to here. So it is very important. These material needs, they are very important. You can't just deny them. Next, we can talk about a paradox. What paradox we can talk about? With the similar paradox, you could have also started this essay. Like this world consists of paradox, and this world consists of contradictions, rather binary contradictions, light and darkness, love and hatred, summers and winters, men and women. And these binary positions are there in front of us, and humans have always been in a puzzle to choose which of them. In this essay saying that both of these oppositions, or rather the constituents of these oppositions, there is wantlessness on one hand and material needs or materialism on the other hand, they both are futile. Now you can make a contrast on these lines. That what to do then? What to do? You can discuss how much futile it is to go after matter, or you can discuss how important it is, and you can make this contrast again. I will be coming to that. How futile is matter? How futile this love for matter is, because matter is there to decay. Human body is there to decay. Death is the ultimate truth of life. Every day you are growing old. With every passing day, your hairs, follicles, they are becoming weak. Your skin is becoming weak, pale. Your eyesight is reducing. It's your strength level you're losing. Your estrogen, your testosterone, all your hormones, you're losing. Your backbone is becoming weak. Your muscles are losing their weight. So essentially, you're degenerating. You're a lump of mass hanging around 206 bones, just trying to postpone the death. Death is the ultimate reality in front of all of us. We all have to die. You all would die. You would die, everyone would die. Death is the ultimate reality. But if you think like this, then what for should we work? Why should I be working hard here teaching you? Why should you be working hard there to study? Why should workers be constructing the walls and the tailors be tilling the land when everyone has to die? Why not die today itself instead of waiting for that time? This pessimism is there. Talk about it. But then how to deal with this pessimism? Because when this kind of pessimism arises, when this kind of societal thoughts arises, then it is the desires which pull us back in this world. It is the desire which brings us back. That's why desires are important. The desires to see the rivers and mountains, the desire to own a house and a spouse, the desire to have children, the desire to love and be loved. These are the desires which create hope in us for a better tomorrow. They create hope, and they say to us, live another day. Yes, we should live another day. Yes, I should teach here. Yes, you should study there to make a beautiful tomorrow. Yes, the tiller should till the land, and the worker should construct the walls, because those material things are needed, they will make a better tomorrow for us in these terms. So talk about such paradoxes. Again, now I will come back to one more point here, the points where we started. But still, how to resolve this dilemma? How to resolve this dilemma, which is there again, I will come to this point pick here, that absence of desires is not possible. Pursuits of desires is not going to take you anywhere. So this idea that think about God and being obsessed with the idea of renunciation or leaving aside our worldly desires, thinking about heaven, that is not feasible. And this essay, though this essay has said it is not feasible, we are taking a broader interpretation that it is not desirable either. And the other part, that running after material goods and looking after our desires, that is also not going to take us anywhere. Possibly that is also not desirable. We have added out this dimension there. Then what to do? Where lies the solution? Kya karon? What is the solution then? Because there are only two possibilities, and both those two possibilities have been ruled out. So what do we do? Then here what we can do is, if we can't have absence of desires and it is futile to run after desires, then what to do? What we can do is, we can look, what we can say, we'll be moving towards conclusion here. We will be saying that look after the present. जो जहां है खुश रहो उसमें. Stop being in a chase. Get out of the race. Stop running after desires, and whatever those desires are of. In a sense, stop trying to leave those desires and stop trying to run after the desires. In a way, stop being obsessed with the idea of God. Stop being obsessed with the idea of metaphysics, what is in heaven and all those things, and stop being obsessed with the idea of earning well, becoming rich, and so on. What is there in front of you? That is worthwhile. There was this song in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. No, not Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, but rather Kal Hona Ho. चाहे जो तुम्हें पूरे दिल से मिलता है वो मुश्किल से, जो भी ऐसा कहीं है वही सबसे हंसी है, उस हाथ को तुम थाम लो, वो मेहरबान कल होना हो. So kal hona ho, whatever you have in the present, whatever you have in the present, be satisfied with that, be contented with that, and try to find happiness with that. If you think that I will become rich, I will have a lavish car, I will show you something here. I will show you something here. What the solutions which I'm trying to suggest here. Now see, this is what I mean. This is a motivation. He's a motivational speaker, a very big motivational speaker. So what kind of motivational things he's saying here? He's talking about his success stories of how he achieved a big car, an S-class car from Century. He's boasting about that. He's a motivational speaker. In a sense, then he would say that you should also be like that. Be a motivational speaker, earn something like him. Your dreams lie in. Then in later down in some video, he would talk about how he took his family, his mother, and all those people, or maybe his spouse or other those people in his time. So stop being materialist like that. He is an example of someone who is glorifying materialism. That how much it is important to have money. He is a prime example of a materialist spirit. And you have to criticize that in this essay, that this materialism is a wild chase, it is never going to end. And I also personally feel that how come such a person who is promoting materialism became a motivational speaker. But that is the truth of time, that is what there in the society today. On the other hand, if we look about another person here, okay, we look about another person here who very popular again. He is ridiculing. He's always making fun of, one second. He's always making fun of he will be always making fun of relations.
relations and worldly affairs. Those things which are, and he will just asking people to think about some great noble ambitions, maybe like thinking about God, spirituality, and so on. So here he is criticizing again family relations and trying to build new relations and so on.
इस चीज के लिए बताएगा वो माँ को बहू की तलाश है ना, और दादी वो दम तोड़ने को राजी नहीं बुढ़िया। वो कहती है जब तक छाना हाथ में लेके अपने ऊपर मुतवा नहीं लूंगी तब तक मुंह में गंगा जल नहीं लूंगी।
That's again so ridiculous. Now the one person is
Yes, now. This is so ridiculous. One person is glorifying materialism. He's saying that how much important and worthwhile it is to buy your cars, improve your luxury brands of cars, get an S-Class instead of an N-Stro, get a Mercedes instead of an N-Stro. And he would often be, every video of his, he will say the same thing, more or less. I became so rich, I've got this many cars, 2 cars, this car, I was once very poor, and I am so rich, you should also be like that. And the other person, this person, Acharya Prashant, he says completely, quite much opposite to that. He would rather be talking about the importance of some spirituality, and or maybe running after your ambitions as far as job is concerned. But his focus is also, he's also against our obsession for material needs. In a certain way, I find these two people dramatically opposite to each other. And what this essay calls for us is, it is rejecting both the outlooks. It is rejecting both the outlooks of Sonu Sharma as well as this Acharya Prashant. What to do then? To do what you need to do is that whatever you have, be contented in that and try to find happiness in that. So like Sonu Sharma, you don't need to have a fancy Mercedes to take your spouse or mother in it and be happy. If you have a small car, if you have a Centro, if you have an Alto, you may be having a 2-wheeler, you may be having a cycle. Take it and spend time with your family and be happy with that. And similar to Acharya Prashant, I would say that do not be obsessed with the idea of finding God. So somewhere we need to find a balance. We have to stay in this world. We have to find happiness from the things which are around us, but without being possessed by them, without being overpowered by them, without being a slave to those desires. So something similar to Buddha's middle path, we can say. Or in a similar way, we can say that how most of the religions, they spell out some way of control over our desires. So no doubt hunger is very important, but still in many religions like Hinduism and even in Islam, you will find concepts of fasting. And similarly, you will find concepts of giving donations, so that you realize that you don't have 100% entitlement over your wealth. You have to share it with someone else. So this is how we will be moving towards the conclusion. We will be saying that material goods, they are no doubt important, but we should not be possessed by them. And absence of worldly desires is not completely possible, but still we should control our desires to a certain extent. It is not possible, neither advisable for everyone to become a sadhu and everyone to embrace renunciation. But nevertheless, it is still desirable that we control our desires, and what we long for. So whatever you have, try to find happiness in that. Then you can, if you want, you can talk it on personal relations also. If you in our personal relations, don't be possessed with this idea of something grand will happen. Jo bhi hai, usi ke saath khush raho. Try to find happiness with that. So your spouse may not be very beautiful, very charming, very handsome, very rich, but try to find happiness with that. The house you may be living in may not be very big, very luxurious, but try to be happy with that. Try to find happiness in this nature. Try to find happiness in material goods which are sustainable and which promote further happiness. So on these lines, I think you could have ended this essay. So with this, I think I would end here. A lot can be discussed here, but then this discussion would become very long. So thank you all. I end it here. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the bells icon so that the next video whenever I come up with the next program, you are immediately notified about that. Thank you all.